Hey everybody, Igor from the Better Life Academy here. And today I want to continue this journey with you guys on sharing these golden nuggets, the proven methods and different kind of, experiments which I've done and I learned from my mentors, and now I'm sharing with you in order to help you to improve the quality of your life. And if you ask, like, why do I think you need to improve the quality of your life? Obviously, I'm not pushing that on you. But I think, and my ideology is as follows: we all need and want to improve our life constantly. Because if you think about it, if we're not taking care of something in our life, we should ask ourselves the question whether what is happening with that thing we're not paying attention to, whether the thing is getting better on its own or that thing is actually getting worse. And in my opinion, and the opinion of others, and probably from your practice, from your experiences, from your own life, you probably will agree with me on that. If something is being set aside and you're not paying attention to it, you're not working with it, you're not improving it, on its own it's probably going to go bad or become worse or decrease. And some of the example of that, obviously, your health, right? You got to take care of your health. If you're not going to take care of your health, the health itself will not improve. Only you can improve that health. Plus, not only you want to improve your health, because of the improving sake, it's just because if you don't do anything with the health quality decreases. So you gotta do something just to keep it on the level, or at least on the average level, the way you have it all the time, because aging does not help, and aging actually kind of increases that gap. So you at least need to do something and improve your health by this gap to get your health back on track. But if you want your health to actually succeed and help to actually thrive through the life and actually improve your health drastically, you got to work even harder in order to make sure that pace which you're going with of improvement of your health, that pace is a lot faster versus your aging or the natural kind of decrease in the overall health based on your aging. You know what I'm saying? So that is why, and I can obviously, make a lot of examples from other areas of our life. I don't want to do that just to, get to the topic of this video. But this is my explanation of why do I think, for those who are more skeptical about this kind of videos or information what I share, why do I think you need at least to maintain those old areas of your life, and to maintain them you still have to improve them a little bit to cover that gap which is being created by the nature. Everything in nature which is not taken care of basically, decreases in quality, going bad or worse than it was before. Okay? All right, today I want to talk about something which impacts our life, I would say, drastically on the very huge scale. And that something is this environment we've been born into. And I want to just, talk about this a little bit today. And if you're going to need to know about this and you want to figure out more about this, you will be able to do that in my course, A Shortcut to a Better Life, which I have recently launched, and we're getting beautiful feedback from all of you guys, and I uncovered that topic which I'm going to be touching up on today right now there in that course in very little detail, with the practical exercises of how you actually create the necessary environment around yourself which will boost you up, which will lift you up, which will pull you up and accelerate your success, and will actually be congruent with all your goals, with all your results and outcomes which you want to get out of life. And that group simultaneously will kind of naturally will lift you up and help you go further. And I want to start with your childhood. You see, we all were born into our family, right? And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying this is the fact. We were born into our family, right? We also were born into some kind of city, some kind of country. The main point of mine saying that is you have not selected this. You did not go through the process of selection. It was not, under your control. And that is okay. This is just a fact. But the result of that, we got into the family. And what is the family? Well, the family, I think, one of the definition, and there are other different ones obviously, but I like this one. The family is the group of people, right? It is the group of people with the same kind of vision, with the same habits, rituals, rules, standards, behaviors, attitude, which that group kind of learn from each other and live within those kind of boundaries and limitations which they built for themselves. As we were being put in that group, we obviously inherit all of that into ourselves. And as child kind of goes on and we are growing within this group and we spend a lot of time within this group, right? Some of us leave families early, but like on average, right, we spend pretty much a lot of, big chunk of our life with that group, right? And what happens with us, we are getting conditioned. Basically, we are getting conditioned by that group on a very subconscious level. And then we get to the adulthood and we're so happy and we're so excited because we think now we're going to start making our own decisions, and those decisions are going to be better than those ones which our parents made for us while we were young. And yet, while we are making those decisions ourselves and we're thinking that we are doing them consciously, and we are doing them consciously, but the very good probability, as a matter of fact, 9 times out of 10, our subconscious will take over and we will make the decision, might be very important decision in our life, based on all that criteria which we would apply and was extracted out of that group we are coming from. And I will explain an example. Let's say if in my family education was not important, if in my family no one was doing homework with me, if in my family no one ever cared about me studying and so on and so on, if in my family no one was actually saving money or multiplying money or learning how to invest money, they only were working hard to get money and then spending them on material things and never would save and multiply, that would be some kind of criteria of the group. That's what they do. That's how they, survive and live. And they don't know any other, and they don't want to know any other ways of how to succeed in life. And if I went through such a family, hypothetically or literally, and that's literally what happened with me, I most probably will inherit this kind of behavior and I will repeat this behavior on and on and on. Why? It's just because of this convenience bias. We all have this convenience bias and we do first those things which are most convenient to us. That is why, by the way, poor people stay poor. If you've been born in a poor family, then you are 9 out of those 10 people which will stay poor. And not because you have different opportunities or you don't have opportunities. As a matter of fact, you have the same all opportunities. You can do all those same people are available to you. The only thing which will let you stay in this, poverty, I would even call it that way, it's only your conditioning from those selected groups which you have been spending more time in. And I come, to another quote, which is, you are the average of all those 5 people you were spending time with the most. And that is true. Also on that example, right? And then as soon as you have this understanding about, coming back to that example, understanding about money and education that way, if that wasn't your family, you're probably gonna use that behavior and do those same things on and on. And it happened with me, by the way. I was born in that kind of family where that, attitude towards education and money was the way I have just described. As a result, guess what? You probably can guess my patterns of behavior at first. Then I was, making those own steps into life and making those decisions. What have I done? Well, I almost dropped out of school. I haven't, but I was all intention to do that, and I was doing that by ignoring it, not doing my homework, nothing. Only going for sports and stuff I liked. Why? Because I'm coming from the group which never cared about studying, never cared about school, never cared about me doing homework and things like that, right? At the same time, if I would get my first money ever, I was starting spending it all around. And obviously, some of you might say, well, it's a good thing sometimes to spend a little bit first, understand the, how expensive money is, and then, start earning money and saving and multiplying. I agree with that. But I bet I was doing it not only because I did not know that, the whole thing, but I also was conditioned to do that because my family was ever doing that thing. They were working hard for that money, but they were spending it right away, every single penny, and they were trying to, make their ends meet every single month. So that kind of rubs off on you. Do you want it or not? And that is pretty dangerous things, guys. And as I said, that is literate reason why poor people stay poor. Why rich people getting even richer is just because they put themselves in a position, they put themselves around those people who lift them up, pull them up, and get them out of that maybe rat race, as I call it, right? And get it somewhere else, out of that comfort zone. And to get out of comfort zone, we have to overstep that convenience bias which we have, psychological weakness which we have in our head when we do first the things which are convenient to us, not the things which are important and we need and should do and must do. Because it's a lot easier to stay in our comfort zone and not live in it ever, right? And if we're gonna do that and keep doing that, we might end up in 40 years doing the same thing we were doing 40 years ago, working at the same work, at the same job we were doing 40 years ago, and just spend our time on the same level, with the same level of energy, with the same level of happiness and other different possibilities. And it's not just because we are special in a negative way. It's not because we are not lucky or something like it. It's just because we are inherited all those things out of those groups we have spent time with the most, and we keep dragging it with us because of that convenience bias and because of other different fears. But I think it's enough from me, for this kind of conversation. If you want to know more, as a matter of fact, as I already mentioned, if you want to learn practical methods and actually strategies of how do you change that, how you jump out of one group to another, how do you define that new group, how do you find the criteria which should be important and should be aligned with the group in order for that group to actually accelerate your success and help you to get all those outcomes and results out of life, go to the betterlifeacademy.me, sign up for my course, A Shortcut to a Better Life, and I will explain you how to do all that. I have so much of similar information just packed and jammed in that beautiful course, which consists of 21 different video lessons and supporting materials, worksheets, which will guide you through a lot of different homework and practical exercises, so you learn and get that momentum and get those strategies and rituals and habits for your life, not only for the length of that course. Okay, all right, but that's enough out of that course. You're gonna figure it out everything when you go on the web page with the address betterlifeacademy.me. Okay, for now I want to wish you to be aware of the group which you are in at the moment. Try to find out whether you need to change it or not and learn how to do that. And one of the ways how you can learn that is just to sign up for one of my courses with the name A Shortcut to a Better Life. And again, guys, as usually, if you love that video, if you think that information what I have just shared with you can help you, or even if you think you know that already, but that might help some of your friends, relatives, family, or whomever, strangers whom you know and can share it with this, I would really appreciate if you would just share this information, repost that post, and let everyone know that there is such thing as being a part of the group, and that thing is crucial to actually succeed in your life because it's literally determine the success of your life. Okay, all right, it's enough out of me today, guys. I hope it was useful, and I talk to you soon. Igor from the Better Life Academy.